Giới thiệu chúc mừng tốt. Yes. Can you please put your hand at the chest? Everyone say hello, Venerable Sir.
Venerable Sir.
Venerable Sir.
Thanks. Hello, everyone. So let's start our class right away. Let's sit in a comfortable meditation posture. Make sure your legs, hands, and face are visible. Standing up, we'll need to do some improvements. In Phúc and Max as well. Diklam, you need to put your camera on something higher so that I can see you from above. Otherwise, I cannot check your legs. Others seem to be fine. All right, so as you're sitting in a comfortable meditation posture, make sure your back is erect. We will cast the side down. And we can make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice the flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy and changing. We continue to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head, we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be happy and changing. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back, we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy and changing. We continue to the buttocks, eyes, knees, calves, hips, soles, toes, tips of toes, we allow all of the muscles and tendons to be heavy and changing. And we enjoy the heaviness of the muscles and tendons. We allow all of the parts of the body to be changing. Now, as we have accepted the nature of this body, as we have achieved freedom from worry about this body, as we are enjoying our peace, we can share it with other living beings. We can start in our room. We don't force, we don't expect. Just allow all beings in the room to enjoy at least as much peace as we are already enjoying now. May all beings in this room be in peace. We can gradually expand our loving kindness. May all beings in this building be in peace. May all beings in this city or village be in peace. May all beings in this country be in peace. May all beings on this continent be in peace. May all beings on this planet be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And with that determination, we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. And when we have changed the way of our sitting, we can take 1 more minute to enjoy the peace we gained in meditation and curiously watch our mind. Very well. So you can come close to your devices. I will be asking you my big question. How many times did you meditate during the last 7 days? How many days? Maybe we are still waiting for 3 of you. Come close and answer if you haven't answered yet. Yes, one more. All right, so we were not doing very well this time, but it seems like there is some kind of progress because most of you actually did meditate 3 or 4 times the last week, which I find very interesting. So the graph is very nicely distributed. So we get 3 to 4, 54%. I'm happy that there is no one who did not meditate at all. Well, if you attended the last class and you meditated with me, well, then of course you don't have 0. And we have just one person who meditated only 1 or 2 times. So that's not so bad at all. But there is definitely a lot of space for improvement because we have only 2 people who meditated all of the 7 days. And that's not much. Okay. That's not sufficient. 3 people meditated 5 or 6 days. That also is not much. So I hope that those of you who did meditate, which is most of you did meditate 3 to 6 days. So if everybody of you can add 1 more day this week, see if you can do 1 more day. If you did 3, try 4. If you did 4, try 5. If you did 5, try 6. If you did 6, try 7. 1 more day this week. Let's see how the graph will look like if everybody of you adds 1 more day this week. So now let's look at the homework. When did you do your homework? Okay. So our second question is ready. Okay, 1 more person to answer. All right, we definitely have some significant progress in this respect. Because previously we had 0, right? For those who answered the same or the next day. This time we have 3 students who made it. So that definitely is a significant progress, but it's totally not satisfactory yet because we had 5 people who did it on the last day or right the previous day. That's not good, all right? Try to do it right the same day or the next day. So much better. Okay, so let's get into some recitation. So you already know how to recite, but now is the time to repeat, repeat, and repeat. So at least 3 times. You'll be looking at the same thing, recitation. I want to make sure that you are very familiar with it. When you're familiar with it, I will teach it to you in the Burmese pronunciation. Burmese pronunciation. You could say, so why don't these Burmese people learn the Sri Lankan pronunciation or the international pronunciation? Well, because they're Burmese and they're proud about their pronunciation. You do not need to worry what other people know or what other people can. It's more about what you know and what you can that will make you happy and successful in your life. So if other people don't want to change themselves, well, then you need to accommodate to their abilities or to their situation so that you can benefit from friendship with the people. And being a good friend of Burmese people, for you, as those who follow the Buddha's teachings, is of great, great benefit. All right? I tell you, if there is one country where the path toward enlightenment is clear, then it is Myanmar. All right? Right after Myanmar would come Thailand. Right after Thailand, there would come nothing. There is no country apart from Myanmar and Thailand where the path toward enlightenment is clear. But if we have to compare Myanmar and Thailand, they're not comparable. Myanmar is much, much, much further, much, much, much clearer. And much more accurate, much more correct, and much more appropriate. Everything is much better in Myanmar than in Thailand, because that's how it is. Okay, so let's look at our recitation. So you can unmute everybody. Very well. Let's keep our hands together at the chest. Yamahang vadami tang vadetha. Aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anuggahang katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampan upadaya. Dutiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anuggahang katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampan upadaya. Tatiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anuggahang katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampan upadaya. Namo Tassa Bhagavato. Arahato Sammāsambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammāsambuddhassa.
Namo
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammāsambuddhassa.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Saranaгаmanang paripunnang. So you have now taken the 3 refuges. Remember that you take refuge because the Buddha, the Buddha's teachings, Dhamma, the community of monks, Sangha are the ultimate resource and source for your peace, happiness, and success in both this life, in the next life, and also the guide to the freedom from all lives, from all birth, old age, illness, and death. Now you're going to follow the first guidance provided by the Buddha, the Buddha's teachings, Dhamma, and the community of monks, Sangha. And that's the 5 precepts. So the first precept means I follow the rule of refraining from killing living beings. So not only that we don't kill, but we also cherish other beings' life, and we also support them in happiness and health. So you can repeat after me. Panati pata.
Panati pada.
Veramani sikkha padang samadhiyami. Adinadana. Veramani sikkha padang samadhiyami. So that means I follow the rule of refraining from stealing. So not only that we don't steal, we don't take what's not given, but moreover, we cherish other people's possessions and we give whatever we have that others need. Kame sumicchācara. Veramani sikkha padang samadhiyami. So this means I follow the rule of refraining from sexual misconduct. It means we never have sexual intercourse with someone who's not our wife or husband when we are married, and regardless whether we are married or not, we never have sexual intercourse with someone else who's married with someone else than us. Now the 4th precept means I follow the rule of refraining from false speech. So that means we don't tell lies. Instead, we cherish truth and we are very open about the truth, but we are also clearly aware what is the suitable time to tell the truth. That suitable time is the time when it helps others. But if we are pressed and forced to tell the truth, we always say it. Musavada. Veramani sikkha padang samadhiyami. The 5th precept means I follow the precept of refraining from drinking alcohol and taking drugs. Sura meraya. Majjapamadatthana. Veramani sikkha padang samadhiyami. So I will now encourage you to protect and follow the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts, and encourage you to make effort mindfully so that whenever a thought, an idea to break any of the 5 precepts arises in your mind, you will immediately find out and prevent breaking that rule. So that way you will never ever break the 5 precepts. And then you can reply, if you agree, saying Bhante. So let's try that together. Tisaranena saddhing panchasilang dhammang sadhukang surakkitang katva apamadena sampadetham.
Bhante.
May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you soon attain the eternal bliss of Nibbana.
Sadhu,
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Very well. So today, before we get to your homework, I will ask you a very special question. I would like to know from every single person here, so students, you're here, 13 people, what would you do, or what do you do if you actually break any of the 5 precepts? So think about it, write it for me. You have about 3 minutes for that. Okay? And I will be back. I wish that everybody of you writes me exactly what will you do in case if you break the 5 precepts. Not what will you decide or what will you think. Now, I'm not interested in about what you think or what you decide. I'm asking you, what will you do? Do is with speech and with the body. Speech means must be something going out loud. With body, the body will probably have to move for that. Okay? So think about it. You have 3 minutes for that. Yurni, very well. I think I asked you to, I thought I asked you to write it in the chat box. Didn't I ask you to write it in the chat box? Amazing. So can you please write it for me in the chat box? Some of you have written to me. Two of you have written it to me. I'm still waiting for 11 out of you. So I'm waiting for that. So let's go one by one. So first one, I apologize to others and warn myself to be more cautious in the future to not do it again. Well, if you apologize to others, what if you killed a mosquito? How will you apologize to the mosquito? All right. And what if you warn yourself, but then you forget about it? You forgot that you actually warn yourself. There is no one to remind you that you warn yourself because you warned yourself, right? Another one, I would tell a knowledgeable person or a monk to ask for forgiveness or guidance not to do it again. That's a very good idea. You do not need to ask for forgiveness, although in the Buddha's time, that's what people did. Instead, you can ask for guidance for not to do it again, but it's a little late. You need to do that before you break it. So when you're facing a difficulty in following 5 precepts, you find a person who does not break the 5 precepts and you ask them how to do it without breaking the 5 precepts before you break it. So this is a good thing, but you do it before you break it, not after. Consult my parents and avoid any activities which might make me break them again. Well, there will always be opportunities to break the rules. So avoiding activities is definitely a good idea. For example, not going for a party with people who drink alcohol. However, you will always have some opportunity to break the 5 precepts. Life is like that. So it's better to be prepared even better than that. For example, in the way we already discussed, so you speak with a knowledgeable person. Ideally, you get a lot of degrees, you get a lot of knowledge, you get excellent marks at school, you read a lot of books, you speak with many people, you associate many knowledgeable people, and you ask them about this and you discuss with them about this so that you are ready for any situation that could be challenging. Consult your parents. Well, what if your parents don't follow the 5 precepts? All right. Your parents maybe do, but what about other people? So this would not be generalizable. I would go and read the 5 precepts again. Well, that definitely is helpful. That's a good thing. but again, that's something you should have done before you broke the rule. It's not really something that helpful after you break it. Venerable Sir, I would probably meditate and try to find out what caused my mind to break the 5 precepts. That's an excellent idea. That's an amazing idea. But instead, what is better is to be mindful and meditate in such a way that you notice your mind when it wants to break the 5 precepts. You will then notice that you want to break 5 precepts out of restlessness. Behind all greed, hatred, and ignorance is restlessness. And if you can deal with your restlessness through meditation, well, then you can deal with your greed, hatred, ignorance, and therefore there will never be reason to break 5 precepts. Venerable Sir, I would probably, yes, that's right. I'd refuge in the 5 precepts one more time. That's what you already did, and it didn't help. So that's not that powerful. I will mumble never, never do that again, and avoid doing or saying things wrongly the next time. You mean you will say it inside your mind? Well, you can do that. And that definitely is very powerful. But again, that's something that you do alone. It's not something that you do, as soon as you do it just yourself alone, it is not that powerful because it's just you who did it. It's you who broke the rule. It's you who did some remedy. So in the end, you're just alone in it, and that's not that powerful. Okay. If I break the precept, I will rethink what I did and keep it in my mind so I don't do it again. That definitely is very necessary, and that's essential. That's essential, but that's not what you do. It's something what you will do in your mind. I was asking about what will you do by your speech and action. I will ask a monk for suggestion. Yes, asking a monk for suggestion, that's what you are doing here. You are here together to ask me for suggestion. And that's the beginning. And then the monk will tell you what to do. So it's a clever answer. I'll ask a monk and he will tell me what to do. And then should I go to pagodas near my house and ask for guidance from the monk there? Well, that's the same thing. So of course, if you don't know something about virtue, about generosity, about meditation, it's good to have some good friend to go and ask what to do. And now you have that good friend in here, and the good friend is going to tell you what to do. So I hope that next time you will go and do it directly instead of waiting until some monk comes to meet you privately and discuss with you and ask you, so what did you do? And then you finally tell what happened. So that's a little late, okay? And it's very late if your parent tells the monk that you did this, and then the monk needs to meet with you to resolve that. That's unnecessary, You can do shortcut, We like shortcuts in Buddhism very much. But it needs to be the right shortcut, okay? So here the right shortcut is, if you break the 5 precepts, you contact a good friend who doesn't break the 5 precepts, and you tell them. That's the shortcut. So how does it work? So it has several steps. You need to have first a good friend. So step 1, need to have a good friend who does not break the 5 precepts. Okay, that's pretty good. The rest you can teach your friend. Okay, the rest of the system, what to do, how to purify your offense, you can discuss that with that friend. But you need to have first a friend who doesn't break the 5 precepts. That's the number 1 thing. You need to have somebody like that. If you have nobody like that, you're doomed. Not really, but if you are not able to follow them yourself, well, then you're doomed. That's what it is. So you need to have somebody who who follows the 5 precepts, so that you can do this that I'm going to write for you. So, what will you do? You will approach your friend and tell them, what did you do? Then your friend will ask you whether you are aware that it was wrong, and you will reply that you are. That you are what? Aware that it was wrong. Number 4. Your friend will ask you whether you will be careful next time. So careful means that you will not break it anymore. So you'll be careful about the mind, and therefore you will prevent breaking it again. And you will reply that you will be careful next time. Then your friend will say that it is very good. Since then, you are the one who does not break the precepts. So, as soon as you break a precept, you are a one who breaks the precepts. Therefore, you always need to have a good friend who does not break the 5 precepts, and who will help you out of that disaster. Okay, there you have it. 5 steps. Oh, some spelling mistakes in there. Zoom doesn't allow me to provide any correction, so I will just make it. So, as soon as you break a precept, you are a one who breaks the precept. Therefore, you always need to have a good friend who does not break the precepts and who will help you out of that disaster. So thanks to having a friend who doesn't break the precepts, you are able to purify yourself. You will always suffer the consequences of your broken 5 rules. But you can decide to be someone who doesn't break them anymore. And your friend can help you in that. Number 2, approach your friend and tell them, what did you do? So what is it that you did? So did you kill a mosquito, or did you tell a lie? Or did you steal something? Or did you drink some alcohol? What did you do? You need to tell them as much with detail as possible. Your friend can then help you how to prevent it next time. Okay? But I would expect that you're already enough intelligent that you know how to prevent it next time. And if you don't know how to prevent it next time, well, then you have to ask your friend, or you have to ask someone else who doesn't break the 5 precepts. All right? Then your friend will ask you whether you are aware that it was wrong, and you will reply that you are aware that it was wrong. It's very important. It's not like, oh, my friend, I killed 20 mosquitoes. And then, what do you mean by that? Do you mean that you're so dexterous and so agile and so clever that you can kill 20 mosquitoes? Or does it mean that you actually think that it was wrong? So you need to be very clear that it was wrong. So that's why your friend will ask you. Many people do bad deeds and they're proud about it. So your friend needs to be first clear that you feel that it was wrong. Because oftentimes people do not like to support you in not doing bad deed if you are too proud about it. Because they feel that you would be too angry and you would not follow their suggestion anyway. So then they would be just losing their time. So your friend will be asking you, so do you think that that was a wrong idea? Okay, to kill 20 mosquitoes? And you will say, yes, I do. I think it was wrong. Okay, then your friend will ask you whether you will be careful next time. And you will reply that you will be careful next time. Okay, that's a kind of, it's a deal. It's a deal. Hey, I'm your friend and I don't break any rules. You broke a rule. Now, will you be careful next time so that I am comfortable being your friend? Because if you are not careful, then that's not comfortable for me to be a friend with those who break rules. See? So there is a deal. You want to have someone who doesn't break 5 rules as your friend? Okay, but you need to make sure that you will not break them either. All right? Because we people who don't break 5 rules do not enjoy company of those who break 5 rules. On the other hand, we enjoy company of those who follow the 5 rules. And you probably, or I hope, would also enjoy company of those who follow the 5 rules. Now, if somebody tells lies, and if somebody steals, or if somebody is ready to harm, or if somebody is committing sexual misconduct or drinking alcohol, well, that's a dangerous person. I don't want to live close to a dangerous person who is able to kill, steal, commit adultery, tell lie, or drink alcohol. I don't want to live with such people. Of course, I have to deal with such people sometimes, but I am not happy about it. On the other hand, I am very happy when I can live with people who follow the 5 precepts. Imagine that everybody in your environment would never kill, never steal, never commit adultery, never tell lies, never drink alcohol or take drugs. That would be such a nice and pure environment where you can do something. You don't need to worry that this person told you a lie or that they deceived you. You don't need to worry that this person stole you money or that this person stole you whatever, your jewelry or your clothes or things or anything else. Isn't that amazing? You don't need to worry that you have wife and or a husband and now they are having sexual relationship with your friend. Like, what's this? So we want to make and live in a community where everybody follows 5 precepts. And when you have a friend who follows the 5 precepts, then that friend knows that you have the potential to follow the 5 precepts. So he wants to be your friend if you follow the 5 precepts because he knows that you can. All right? So this is very, very essential that your friend asks you whether you will be careful next time, and then you will say, yes, I will. So you're promising your friend, oh, my dear friend, don't worry, I'm not going to break the 5 precepts anymore. Okay, it's a deal. Please stay my friend. I will not be breaking my 5 precepts anymore. And then your friend will be happy about it. So he will say, it's very good. And since then, you have again become someone who does not break 5 precepts. What does that mean? What does that mean? When you become someone who doesn't break the 5 precepts, well, then you are eligible for friendship with those who don't break 5 precepts. But also, if your friend breaks the 5 precepts, then they can come and you can encourage them in the same way that they encouraged you. Isn't that amazing? So you can be encouraging each other, and thus you can maintain the community pure from breaking the 5 precepts, regardless of age, race, gender, or anything else. You're 3 years old. If your 3-year-old brother or sister doesn't break 5 precepts and you break 5 precepts, it's a good idea to tell them. They will have to be able to pronounce, the correct answers and questions. You need to have somebody who does not break the 5 precepts, and then you, as someone who doesn't break 5 precepts, you can strike a deal. I don't break 5 precepts. You don't break 5 precepts. So let's support each other in not breaking 5 precepts. And that way, let's live peacefully, happily, and successfully. This is how you do that. Does anyone have any question about that? Okay. So I hope that everybody here, as we are here together, is a person who doesn't break 5 precepts. Okay. And I hope that it will stay like this for the rest of our lives, not just for today or this year. All right. And that way we have created an amazing, shining and glittering, radiating community of pure, excellent people who have the full potential to be successful in anything they do in this life and be born in a very beautiful realm and world and body in their next life. So that's how you do it. Following 5 precepts. That's the key. That's the first key. There are quite a few doors to be successful, but following the 5 precepts is the first key to the heaven. You know, some people, they speak about the key to the heaven. Yeah, they have no idea what's that. The key to the heaven is 5 precepts. Second key to the heaven is generosity. If you have something that other people need, like food and clothes and place to stay, you give that. That's the second key. These 2 keys are enough. You don't need anything else. All right. So one more chance. Anyone has any question? If you don't agree, or if you find this challenging or difficult, doesn't make sense, let me know. All right. So let's move on to your homework. So who will be reading homework today? Jake Low, Đức Lâm, and Lân Minh Tuan. Can you please raise your hand? Okay. So Đức Lâm, you can start reading right away.
It's not just sleep that have been learning, even simply being in a blissful state have because so much is going on in those brain, and they are learning so much, and at such a fast pace, teenagers need more sleep than either their parents or their much younger siblings.
Đức Lâm, I think you have some problem with your microphone. I barely can hear you. So I wonder if you can improve your technical situation. Those who want to leave because it's too late in their place, yes, you can. But I would like to ask Đức Lâm to make some more improvements. We already see what is there, so I can somehow catch up with your sound. But please improve your microphone system because I really can barely hear you. Let's continue to Jake.
Scientists have calculated that the average adolescent actually requires 9.25 hours of sleep. And during REM sleep, which happens later in the sleep cycle, the brain puts on a kind of show, reenacting through dreams the information learned and further solidifying the information for storage in the brain's memory area.
Very well. In Buddhism, we recognize 4 kinds of dreams. 4 kinds of dreams. So number 1 kind of dream is like that, exactly what they describe. Another kind of dream is caused by illness. When you have illness, physical issue, that can itself be behind your dream. Possibly some nightmares and bad dreams can be caused by a physical issue. 3, that's a dream that when deities, when gods come into your dream and they start to talk with you there or show you some things there, then that's also another kind of dream. And then we have 4th kind of dream, and that is the predictive dream, when you see something that will happen in the future. So be careful, there are 4 kinds of dreams, but because only one of them can be scientifically examined, you have only one there. Okay, thank you very much. And let's continue to Lungmin Duan.
Those teens who sleep 5 or fewer hours a night had a significantly higher rate of violent crime, including physical fight and threatening violence using weapons. Some studies report that average high school students drink as many as 5 cans of energy drink a day to compensate for a lack of sleep.
Very well. As many as 5 cans of energy drinks a day. Yeah, it's expensive. You need to pay for cans of energy drink. But also it's not very healthy, to drink these things. What is better is if you sleep more. It's a little difficult, especially today, to sleep, to sleep enough. 9 hours. Oh, what will I do 9 hours with sleep? But yeah, if you can, then you will be at your maximum potential of your intelligence and abilities. So you are trading your potential with your time. What do you want? Do you be intelligent and fast and accurate? Or do you want to save some more time to enjoy sensual pleasures? So you can decide, but it's better to sleep more. So this will depend on your timetable and how do you manage your program and your studies. But I believe it's possible. It should be definitely possible. If you want, you can. And then I would love to hear from you, if you were able to manage 9 hours every day of sleep, then did you actually notice a significant difference in your abilities for studying, for meditation, for communication, for socialization, and so on? Socializing? Or no? I'd love to hear from you. So I will read for you my note. We'll be finishing within a few minutes. So this is chapter 5, right? And you were reading the first part. You were reading the first part of the chapter 5 about sleep. That's correct. So I'll share with you my screen. Thank you. The teenagers. The teenagers who refuse to go to bed at night or get out of bed in the morning are not slothful, nor do they lack discipline. And refusing to heed your pleas to wake up is also not a sign of rebelliousness. The infuriating behavior of teens when it comes to sleep is actually completely normal. Sleep patterns are controlled by a complex web of brain signaling and hormones, both of which are regulated by maturational stages. All right. So next time when somebody says that you're sleeping too much when you're just sleeping your 7th hour that night, then you need to show them this quote from a neuroscientist. Then these pages are my pages, so don't worry about that. If they are allowed to sleep as long as they like, teenagers will get around 9 to 10 hours of sleep per night. But if they are made to wake up for school, as shown somewhere else, they're chronically losing 2.75 hours of sleep daily. This is thought to contribute to what? Chronic sleep deprivation syndrome. It's a mental disorder. Your schools are making for you a mental disorder. That's not fair. All right, so you are reading half. So let's get second half of that chapter. So you are reading until an embarrassment. So now the second half is simply from starting the school day. Okay, starting the school day. Later, you will be now reading about the solutions. And it's a little bit less. Look at that here. You will have some little lists. So it's not that much of reading, only about 4.5, let's say 4.5 pages. Should not be that bad. And you have the whole week for that. So hopefully you all can do it today itself. Latest tomorrow morning. See you next week. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much, Bhante. Everyone, can you please unmute? Yes, everyone, can you please say goodbye, Venerable Sir?
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
Venerable.
Venerable Sir.
Okay, goodbye, everyone. See you later.